Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Love of Heart Movement Radio Show. This is Cheryl Jones, your Queen of Hearts, and I am so excited that you're here with us today. I had the opportunity today to introduce to you Miss Marico Early. She is an author, a motivational speaker, and she runs a really successful blog called She Believes. So we'll get to Marico in just a minute, but I wanted to take this time again and let you know about the Love of Heart movement. The Love of Heart movement was birthed in January 2015, and the reason for that is I wanted to just let people know there were still people out there that were doing things right. I really wanted to spotlight those of us who provide services from the love of their heart. With that being said, I decided I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to do a membership site where we have a monthly CD of the month, and I'm also going to do quarterly mixers. Wonderful, wonderful opportunity to spotlight individuals and wonderful opportunity to just really give people the attention and information that they need. In the middle of saying all of that, we needed to take time to just really give people the attention and just really tell them thank you. Just really share with them that we're thankful and that we appreciate them serving people from the love of their heart. With that being said, I wanted to identify over 260 people in 1 year that I knew personally. You guys, and I want you to hear that I personally know that are providing services from the love of their heart. Many times people say, I love people or whatever, but I believe this. I believe that you have to really, really know that all things are possible and know that you can do anything that you set your mind to by showing love to others, you guys. All of us go through various different things in our life, and it's just very important that we do several things. We need to just share what we've learned. We need to share what we believe, what everything that has really, been special in our life. We just need to share that. We just need to love on people, definitely. So now we are definitely being joined by Ms. Marico Early. Marico, are you here with us?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry I got kicked off apparently the first time, but I am here now.
Okay, I'm so glad you're here with us. Wonderful. Well, Marico, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a wife. My husband and I have been married for 21 years. This year will be 22 years. I am a mother of one child. I have a daughter who is 20 years old, and she is away in college. So I am an empty nester now. So
that's good.
A lot of time doing things that I would not have been able to do otherwise because I would be running with my child. But I am starting to find out how to enjoy this new chapter in my life, and I'm excited about it.
Yes, definitely. Well, I am so excited. I was telling the audience a little bit about your blog. Can you tell us a little bit more about your blog?
Absolutely. My blog is called She Believes 3, Marico Early, She Believes 3. And this was started because I had a passion, or I have a passion for women, and just I wanted a way to pour into women. And I found that women enjoy reading stories, so I have done a lot of my blogging based on stories of things that have actually been a part of my life and things that have happened in my life, sometimes on a daily basis, sometimes things that happened several years ago, but it gives me a platform to be able to share from God's Word through the blog and through the stories, because I have seen God show up through those stories. And so I just share that with other women, and it really has given me a great response, and it's just confirming that this is something that God really wants me to do.
Yes. Wonderful. So I just really appreciate you for that and for following God's calling on your life to go out and to empower other women, because that's what I'm all about. I'm about empowering anybody that needs encouragement, really. So I think that that's so important. And that's why I know that you are a person that provides services from the love of your heart. I started this movement in January 2015, and the reason that I started it, I go around and I tell people I travel about 80% of the time with my job. So I'm here in my office only about 10, 20% most of the time. And I find that I really run into a lot of people that are not in love with their job anymore. And that just really floors me, because I wake up madly in love with what I'm going to do for the day. I set my schedule up so I can always do something fun. I'm probably one of the busiest people you will ever meet, but with that busyness, I always find time to pour into the life of other people. So tell me, what's your motivation for loving on others? Did you grow up that way? Or is that something when you became an adult, you just decided, hey, I'm going to treat people better than they treat me, because you go above and beyond the call of duty? So tell me about that.
Well, I tell you, actually, I did grow up with it. My father and my mother have always given back to the community, and we grew up seeing them take dinners to people. And at Christmas time, my dad would always take fruit and candies and things to people who were less fortunate and could not get out and go and do for themselves, especially people who were sick. And he would always have Christmas programs where the children could come and they could receive things. And so this was something that I saw all my life, and not just at Christmas, but they were always sharing, whether it be through food or raising money and doing funding and donations and that type of thing. So it was just a natural thing for me to want to give back. However, as I grew older, I started to observe women in a way that I would try to understand some of the struggles that some women were having, because even though my struggles may have been different, we all were going through different types of struggles. Yeah. And a struggle is a struggle. And so it was key for me to encourage women, because I understand what it feels like to have encouragement whenever you're down. And so God has just really given me the gift of encouragement. And I love being able to share with women and to see them have those aha moments when they finally get it, a light bulb moment, and most especially when they understand that they are not the only ones that are going through something. Wow. And sometimes that's the way the enemy works. He tries to isolate us so we will think we are the only one. So that's really my motivation, just to teach women about God and to teach them about his promises to us so that they can stand firm and have confidence and know that they can achieve. The other thing is just to teach them to live victoriously and to move with life and purpose and vision and power, and not to feel like they cannot overcome. And that is just what I love to do. We wear a lot of hats as women. And so sometimes, we're walking in the door, taking off the hat of management, and we're having to get in the kitchen and put on the chef hat, and then we have to put on the teacher's hat to help the children get the homework before they can go to bed. So we wear all of these hats in the course of one day. And sometimes it just gets a little bit burdensome, and we just need to know, hey, it's okay. You're going to be okay. Thousands and millions of women have done this before you, so you will survive,
Yes, definitely. That is so true. And I really wanted to just make sure that we're always on this show just sharing with people how they can get ahead and how they can process if they are going through a challenge. They may be experiencing something financially, they may be experiencing a death in their family, or they may be experiencing a relationship challenge. So I know, like you, and like me rather, I know you've experienced some challenges in your life. Can you tell the audience one challenge that you've had to overcome and what you've learned in the process? And the purpose of that, Marico, is just to really encourage other people, because many times we don't know if a person listens to this podcast and say, wow, that really changed my life, because I know I am an entrepreneur, and I love, love, love learning. So I'm always on somebody's podcast. I'm always reading something or listening to something that could help my life and just make me grow, because I know that school is never out for the pro. So can you share something that might help someone, a challenge that you had to overcome?
Well, I tell you, one of the most challenging things that I have ever done is to start and maintain a business. I've actually started 2 businesses in my lifetime. My first business was as an interior designer. I had my own interior design business for 15 years. I was in the business for 20 years, but for 15 of those years I had my own business, and it was very successful. And then when I got married and had my daughter, I decided I wanted to be able to do something where I could be at home a little bit more and be able to contribute to our household finances from home. And that's when I started the business that I'm in now. And I've been in that business, this business, I should say, for 19 years. It was 19 years in April this month. And I've been in a sales director now for 10 years. So the most challenging thing was actually just feeling the heartbeat of the people that I was working with and learning how to work with people effectively and to be an encouragement and still to be a powerful businesswoman, but be able to be a woman who was fair and to be a woman who had integrity, and just to set that example for the people that I work with, and just being able to learn how to deal with different personalities, because I work with women all day, so you get a very amount of different personalities. And so that has been a challenge, but, God has really blessed me with a great team of ladies that I work with, and it's been great.
Definitely. Well, I'm so excited and so challenged. I know many times people say that women can't work together, but I believe that with this movement and with our lives in general, we can just let people know that is not true. We can do whatever we desire to do. So we just have to be diligent about making up our mind to do what we are desired to do, definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, tell me about your purpose. How did you find your purpose, and how do you encourage people to find their purpose?
Well, I tell you, I found my purpose through absolutely getting still. And I know that a lot of people say, getting still? I don't have time to get still. But that is what has worked for me. Through prayer and journaling. I do a lot of journaling. And that's actually what led me. God was preparing me years ago at 19 years old when I started journaling. He was preparing me then to start writing now. I had no idea where that would carry me, 30-some years later. But I see now, looking back, that he was preparing me for this purpose then. And the other way that I found my purpose is through praying for wisdom. God tells you that if you ask for wisdom, that he will give it to you. And so I had to take moments. I take moments within my day to get still and to ask God for direction and to seek wisdom. And when you can do that, you will have the wisdom you need for that day. You will know who to approach. You will have discernment on what to say, and I can almost handpick different people that I'm supposed to do business with based on what my goals are and everything, and listening and looking and going through conversations with other people. It's been very helpful to hear God's purpose for me through some of the people that he's brought into my life.
Yes. Wow, that is awesome. Awesome. And that's what it's all about, you guys. We have to know that anything is possible. And if we listen and hear from the Holy Spirit what we're supposed to do, that we can do it. Nothing is impossible for us. And I think that's what I always want to drive home to everybody is nothing is impossible. Well, Marico, I know that you have a young daughter, but I want to take you to a young lady that would be younger than your daughter. I want to take you to a 15-year-old young lady who would be just like you were at 15. And the reason I do that is I really want you to share with the audience and the younger people, what would you tell a 15-year-old girl living in today's world but had the same personality that you had at 15? So I don't know if you were outgoing or if you were, a person that was shy like I was, but what would you tell that person?
I tell you, I think that my advice would be to dedicate your life to Christ first at an early age. While you're young and you can be effective and he can start to take root in your spirit, give your life to Christ at an early age. The next thing that I would suggest to them is to be relentless, and I do mean relentless, about pursuing their education and go as far as I would advise them to go as far as they can go with that education, because it's proven that you have more opportunities available to you when you do, and that people who are more educated, generally speaking, because it's not always, but more times than not, they're going to make more money than someone who's not. I would encourage them to be a lifelong learner. School is never out for the pro, as you said a few minutes ago. To be a lifelong learner is something that will give you an excitement and a joy about life forever, because you will always be seeking to become smarter, and it just opens your view of life and of people and of God's creation and everything when you're always seeking more knowledge. The other thing is to set your standards high. Set high goals for yourself, and don't allow anybody to come in and place limits on you or limitations on your thought processes and your dreams. Because if God has planted that dream in you, then, and if you can see it with your mind's eye, you can absolutely achieve it. And to be a servant. Be a servant to the people in your community and in your church, and even at home. Start at home. God created us to serve. And that's what I appreciate also about what you do, Cheryl, is that you do have a servant's heart, and I appreciate that about you. And then the other thing that I would encourage them to do is to live fully. Enjoy life. Go on trips. Do things that are fun. Life is to be enjoyed, And then the other thing is watch the company that you keep, because birds of a feather truly do flock together. And so they really have to watch the company that they keep, because this will determine how high or how low you go. And so it's very important, especially when you're young, at any age really, but especially when you're young, because you're starting to develop those friends that you will carry through life. And it's very important that you carry with you people who are going somewhere, so that then you can go somewhere.
Yes,
and so that's what I would suggest.
That is good advice, not only for a young person, Marico, but that's good advice for us as we're older folks. It really is. Everybody can make a change. If you've had a bad start to life, audience, you can change today. It is just a decision. It really is. I meet so many people that have been through, some terrible things, to be quite honest with you. Being a social worker here in Dallas is not an easy thing. I tell people that all the time, because not only are you just inundated with so much bad stuff, sometimes that really gets to you. So I know I have to take some time and just do what I need to do in terms of, going to the movies, just getting in a happy space, because what I do can really make me depressed. It really, really could. So I just learned, okay, Cheryl, you need to take a break. You need to go to the movies. You need to do something to make you happy, because these stories are starting to get to you. And you know what? When you know something is wrong, you guys, it's our responsibility to take care of ourselves. It doesn't matter if you're married or single or whatever. Nobody's job is to make you happy. And it's so funny. I learned that after going to counseling. Well, not really counseling. It was a group session with Sister Mildred Bell at my old church where I attended. She used to say that all the time. It's nobody's job to make you happy. Happiness is an inside job. And, God has already given us everything that we need. So we need to appreciate what he's given us and go for our dreams. We really, really do, you guys. So I encourage you today to just listen to the words that Marico is saying and take a moment and download this episode so you can have it for your future listening. So, Marico, tell me this. I wanted to talk to you about two different types of entrepreneurs now. You and I both have been in business for a very long time now. And first of all, I want you to talk to the future entrepreneur. Any advice you would give that person? And secondly, if you could end with a person that's a struggling entrepreneur. I think with me, that's the call that I get more than the future entrepreneurs, actually. I get the call of people who've been in business maybe a year, maybe 6 months or whatnot, and they are just not seeing any type of return. So I want you to speak to both of those people if you could.
Okay, so the future entrepreneur, what I would say is, number one, take God as the CEO of your business, because you can't go wrong there. And to set high goals, be willing to work hard to achieve them. Hard work, people, always pays off. Hard work always pays off. And you may not see it initially, but, you know, it's the same thing as the farmer goes through with the sowing and the reaping. You cannot go out and plant seeds all day, every day, and not sooner or later get a harvest. And so if you will continue to work, you will start to see your harvest come in. And then treat the people that you are working with respect, and treat them the way you would want to be treated. And then you will also receive respect, because, again, it's what you plant. You know, whatever you're planting is what you're going to receive back. Be willing to take risk. And being successful requires faith, and that's what you're saying. When you get out and you take a risk, you're saying, I'm having faith. Now, you don't want to do things that are absolutely foolish. You want to think about what you're doing, but you still want to take risk. You're not going to be successful without risk. Risk are just simply involved when it comes to an entrepreneur. Now, for the people who also surround yourself with people who are already where you want to be. You know, wherever you're wanting to go, surround yourself with people who are where you're wanting to go. Now, you were saying something about the struggling entrepreneur?
Yes.
When it comes down to the struggling entrepreneur, I would say do an assessment. Get a piece of paper and sit down and at the top write strengths and weaknesses and draw a line down the middle and list what your strengths are and list what your weaknesses are. And you want to move towards your strengths. I think so many times the reason people continue to struggle is because they focus so much on their weaknesses. Don't focus on your weaknesses. You can get people to help you where you're weak. You can hire people to help you where you're weak, but you need to play to your strengths. If your strengths are people and spending time with people, you have no business touching paper. Let somebody else touch paper. Let somebody else do the computer. You focus on the people. And so that's what you have to do is really take an assessment, and that will help you understand why you're struggling. If you're spending 35 of your 40 hours a week on paper and you need to be talking to people, that's why you don't have sales. So you have to look at what it is that you're trying to achieve. If it's a service-oriented business, you need to be talking to people. And that is just a fact. Now, if you're shy, then you're going to have to decide whether or not you're in the right kind of business.
Right.
Because some people simply do not feel comfortable talking to people. Either that or you're going to have to hire somebody to talk to people. But at some point, people will have to be talked to. You know, we're hiding behind machines and texting and computers, and we're hiding behind all of these things. And these things can be very effective for us, but I am telling you now that when you want to move the hearts of people, you've got to get in their space.
Yes, definitely. And that is so true, audience. I hope that you're taking notes, because every time we do a show and any speaker that comes on, they're going to leave you with some nuggets, you guys. Because in life, you can't go through life alone, you guys. You really cannot. So I encourage you to just take the information that Marico has given you, take the information that anyone has given you that's trying to lead you in a right way of getting your business going and keeping your business going, because that's the main thing. I tell people all the time, you can start something all day long. It's whether you're going to continue. That's the key, because what happens is, yes, it's so easy to get motivated. It's so easy to get motivated. And it may be even easy to reach your major goal, but it's after you get that goal and dealing with all the ups and downs that come with it, you guys. That's what's so important. And that's one of the things that Marico, the most important thing that I heard her say, you guys, is to do an assessment. I think many times we don't want to know what we're bad at.
Yeah,
so
that's
funny
true.
Because we want to say, "Oh my God, we're good at everything. I'm just wonderful." But when you realize, "Oh my goodness, I really don't like this." I just finished having this discussion. Yes, I just finished having this discussion with a guy who does a website, and I realized, although it's fun to learn that, I'm not really interested in that. So at some point, you've got to decide: is it worth it for someone to take over something that you're not interested in doing anymore, but you know that it's vital to succeed, definitely.
Well, the thing is, Cheryl, is that with everything else, you've got to tell the truth. You've got to tell yourself the truth. And once you can be honest with yourself, and it can only help you to be honest with yourself, because you will spend years toiling and straining and pushing against doors that will not open for you, because your personality type is not the type that is going to be able to enjoy doing that type of work. So you have to get realistic, you have to get real with yourself, and you have to do an assessment and run towards those strengths. God gave us those strengths for a reason. And he didn't say, go play with your weaknesses. Your strengths are where your talents are. And whatever you find that you enjoy doing, more than likely, that is what your life calling is supposed to be. For instance, I enjoy talking. You enjoy talking. You make money talking. I make money talking. I enjoy writing. I do well with my blog. So things like that. If you are a person that loves baking, you would probably be an excellent chef or an excellent someone who would start a bakery. So you have to go to the strength. You have to.
Yes. Thank you so much for saying that. We are running a little bit short on time, Marico. So what I want to do at this point is I want you to let the audience know what they can do to support you. You know, if you have anything coming up that you want to announce or whatnot, how they can get in touch with you. And then I want you to close the call with one nugget just for, it could be about life or business, just something to encourage the audience.
Okay. The way that you can reach me is through email, and that is shebelieves3@gmail.com. And then the blog site, if you want to go on and read some of the things that I've written, is shebelieves3.blogspot.com. And the thing that I want to leave you with today is that you can be the best you can be. You cannot be Oprah Winfrey. You cannot be anybody else. But God did create you to be the best you that you can be. Nobody else has your thumbprint. Nobody else has your face. Nobody else has your brain. You are created to have greatness and to be great. And so I just encourage every woman or man listening to step into the greatness that God has created for you to do. And once you do that, you are on a roll. Nobody can stop you. Nobody can stop you. And when you take him as your partner, it doesn't get any better than that.
It really does not. Well, thank you so much, Marico Early, for being here on the call today. It was a powerful message, you guys, and I hope you guys felt her heart and felt her enthusiasm because she also, like I am, you guys, we are both women who are passionate about helping others go forward in their life. And you're going forward maybe something small as for getting a $2 raise on your job. You're going forward could be getting to the next level on your job, just whatever. Or you're going forward could be starting a company. You just never know what's possible until you decide what you want. So I encourage you guys to follow the Love of Heart Movement radio show. It debuts every Monday through Friday, and I am excited to share with you guys. And thank you so much, Marico Early, for being here today.
Thank you for having me. It was a joy.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.